Passion, purpose, possibilities. They're all right there. But sometimes we need a little push. And that's where SheSez comes in. Think of it as a master class taught by the world's most interesting women, sharing stories and ideas, because girlfriends help each other. This is SheSez with Linda Grasso. Hello and welcome to SheSez. My guest today is Donna Pohlad. After raising 3 children in her hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota, Donna kept pretty busy. She started a kickboxing studio before anybody had ever heard of such a thing, and she's a big supporter of the arts in Minnesota. But Donna was destined for another chapter, and it was inspired, of all things, by her hair, which was getting grayer with each passing day. She was really frustrated about the amount of time and money she spent trying to hide it, and she started really thinking about the ritual and process of hair coloring that so many of us do. Donna's time and money-saving solution was dpHue, an innovative product that is designed to be used at home. And today she is the CEO of dpHue, which is sold online at Sephora and the Home Shopping Network, among other retail outlets. Donna, thank you so much for being here today. It's so great to reconnect with you.
Yes, I love seeing you. Thanks for having me.
So I want to go back to the time before you came up with dpHue. As I said, you were a pretty busy woman. Was there something missing in your life, or was it more about this thought that you had that there might be a way of reducing all that we do to color our roots?
I have spent the majority of my adult life raising my kids and was mostly a stay-at-home mom. I have always enjoyed business conversations, dinner table talk about business. But I had never really had a business or, I'd worked some. But when I opened that kickboxing studio, that was sort of my first kind of I was looking through a magazine and I saw something about it and I just was like an aha, like this is the next big thing. Mm-hmm. And I got to figure this thing out if this is, if I can make something out of this. And so I put together a business and I called it Jabs with a Z. and I had that business for...
So was it just one kickboxing studio?
It was just one studio, and it was sort of this made-up concept. It was a karate studio and a kickboxing studio.
Was it really good for your abs? Did you have washboard abs, and do you still have them?
No, I never even had them, but
no. Your hair looks great.
No, yeah. So anyway, I had that for, about 2 years, and then my kids, there's a lull, I think, in your kids' lives. They're in like 3rd, 4th grade, and then they start getting in 5th, 6th grade, and, the kickboxing studio was really an after-school thing. So I needed to be home for dinner. I needed to sort of change my life again. So I sold that. And I didn't work again until I dabbled a little bit with an art gallery for a while with a friend who owned a gallery. And, that was really sort of all I had been doing work-wise. And
so you had a little bit of a lull. I mean, you've got a lot of energy. You were kind of feeling a need to do a little something else.
Yeah. No, I was never really happy not doing anything. I always had something. If I was on a board, more involved in my kids' school, or, I always had something to do.
Now, having done the kickboxing studio, you knew you had a little talent for being an entrepreneur. Yeah?
I had a talent, I think, for identifying a white space. I think that was really...
Yeah.
It wasn't that I had a love for kickboxing, which is why I probably don't have that business anymore. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a love for it.
So take us back to that moment when the light bulb went off, when you identified this next white space.
So it was, I had been getting gray, and I was in my 50s, and I was going to New York, and it was a Sunday. I was leaving on a Tuesday. I'm like, oh my God, this is like crazy. I need to get my hair colored. Salons are closed on Monday. I don't like to make appointments. I don't like to make my nail appointments. I'm going to get my hair cut. And they say, let's book your next appointment. I say, absolutely not. I'll call you when I need it. So that's just me and how I live my life. And so that was really, that was starting to get really annoying to me, getting my hair colored all the time, driving over there, sitting there for 2 hours. And so it's a little bit gnawed at me. And I was with my husband at a big event, Al Franken was speaking.
You remember this very clearly.
I do. I remember because it was that light bulb moment. And actually, Al is not that funny when he's talking about policy and that kind of thing. But anyway, so I was getting a little bit bored, and I looked around this room. There were probably hundreds of people in this room. And I just locked in on every woman's hair. And I said, oh, my God, like, you must feel the same way I feel. And you must feel it, too. And it just, the wheels started turning. And I became, like, obsessed. And I thought, I think I have something here. I have this idea. I know there's a need for something. I know that there's people out there who, don't want to go to the salon all the time and get their hair colored, nor do they want to go to Target and buy a box of color. So I just put one foot in front of the other and created this business.
So I think we should point out that you come from a family of entrepreneurs. The Pohlad family has a lot of enterprises, including the Minnesota Twins. What did your husband say when you first told him?
He's been fantastic. I mean, he has been super supportive. He, through the family business, I was able to, sort of vet the idea. I was able to kind of talk to venture capital people and, who are in the consumer goods space and, investment bankers and, all these people. And no one ever said to me, that's a bad idea.
Did anyone say, Donna, why do you want to do this? Like, this is huge.
My girlfriend said that to me, but it was more like, what, are you crazy? Like, what do you want to do this for?
Yeah, I mean, launching a consumer product is hard for a corporation. You're just a person.
Yeah. But the funny thing is that in today's world, the timing was actually pretty good because unbeknownst to me, this was sort of the beginning of all these indie brands. This was sort of the beginning of, the financial collapse and do-it-yourself and people looking for alternatives, either to save money or to save time and sort of breaking the rules.
And one of the things I want to point out is you weren't, one of the things I thought was cool about dpHue is it's not these, if you go to, like you said, Target or your grocery store and you get a box of hair color, it's a big box of color and, it basically says on the label, mix the whole thing. You can't, you feel so bad because you're just, if you're like a lot of women, you're just coloring your roots and then you throw the rest away.
Yeah.
You're not one of those people that goes all through. And dpHue sells these little root touch-up kits that it's just kind of like a little dab of color and then you just toss it. It's priced appropriately for that. And that I thought was really innovative. A root touch-up kit.
The root touch-up kit with permanent hair color that really grew out of our experience in our own salon, where we were selling all over hair color to go, and we were also applying all over hair color. We had a hair color bar. We had two. Then one was out here.
So when you were developing this, one of the first things you did after you did all your research and you traveled to Europe and you worked with some colorists there, you opened a salon in Minneapolis.
Yes.
And that was a place that was your place that you promoted the product and you got everyone talking about it in the city. Right. Right? Was that the primary purpose?
Yes. And it was really about providing a place where women could go in and talk to a hair colorist, purchase hair color and take it home. And we would help formulate it and we would formulate it and we would educate them and teach them how to color their own hair. But what happened was people were saying, oh, I've heard, you guys, people love your hair color, but I'm afraid to do it myself. So we ended up adding on salon services, which was super easy for us to do.
So let's go back for a minute to when the idea was percolating. First of all, you tapped some of your friends who were in the hair industry. Didn't you know some people at Aveda, et cetera, et cetera? And that turned out to be a key.
Yeah, that was key. I mean, you would think that a city like Minneapolis is at a disadvantage, that this kind of thing needs to be done in California, New York especially. However, there's a lot of hair people in Minneapolis because it's the home of Aveda and it's the home of Regis and it's the home of all these other brands. So it wasn't hard for me to find the right people to connect to that could help me find a manufacturer and just help identify exactly how to construct this business that wasn't modeled on anything that was out there.
And were they the ones that pointed you to France to go
To
for
Italy.
Oh, Italy.
Yes.
Right. So
yeah, I found them. I found our manufacturing partner through them.
And how many times did you have to go? And what was that formulation process like?
It was, well, first of all, it was, I was shown all kinds of hair color companies. And it was one of those things. I'm a little bit the kind of person where I'm not really sure, but I'll know it when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
And, they set out all these hair color books and I saw this and I said, that's it. That's the company. I loved what I saw. I felt it was modern. I felt, the potential to do beautiful hair color. I could see it in front of my eyes. I could tell they weren't old school. They were really on the forefront. And it turned out that they too are very entrepreneurial. And they have been a fantastic partner for us.
So you're getting into this deeper and deeper. Was there any part of you that at any point thought, gee, this is a little bit more than I bargained for? Or, wow, what if this flops?
All the time. All the time. I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, I've been at this since we opened our first physical location in 2011. And I mean, the sleepless nights I've had, the mistakes I've made, it's been extensive.
What kept you moving forward?
I've just been so passionate about it. I in my heart, I know that we have built a great foundation. I know that we have a great product. I know that we're able to do this. And I know that now we have amazing people. Now our team is clicking and I just knew that this is going to work despite a lot of setbacks here and there.
Mm-hmm. So you get the product together and you start putting it in your dpHue in Minneapolis. I know that for a while you had a salon where you were sort of trying to do the same sort of community outreach in Studio City. And then you really had a major step up when it started being sold was Sephora first? Ulta.
Well, Ulta and Sephora.
Ulta Beauty is the full name of it, right?
Yeah, Ulta Beauty. Sephora.com and Ulta. And Ulta, they're a powerhouse. They're just a brand, a company that is on fire. And we had an opportunity to have a meeting with them. And we met with them. We went to Chicago. We had an hour-and-a-half meeting with them. We walked out and with you get, all these shelves and every store. And we love your brand.
Was that the first moment that you really thought to yourself, gee, I think we're going to make it. This is great.
That was just what just happened here. That was an amazing moment for us. That was a real, somebody like a company like that said, we love it. Mm-hmm. We love your story. We love your product. We love your branding. And we want it. And we want it in every one of our stores.
And by the way, they're not just selling the hair coloring kits. You've come up with a rather innovative line of hair products.
Yeah.
I know you have the apple cider vinegar. Do you call it a rinse or a shampoo?
We call it a rinse.
Okay. It's like a light shampoo.
It's like a cleanser. It cleanses. I wouldn't call it a clarifier. I would call it, it's a cleanser. You would use it instead of shampoo.
Mm-hmm. And it's more gentle too.
It's more gentle. It's
the hair color.
It closes the
Do you find
cuticle.
your hair color stays longer?
It protects the color.
So I tried it, and it's hard for me to calibrate whether or not my hair color is lasting longer. I like the lightness of it. You got to get over the fact, though, that it doesn't suds much.
Right. Yeah.
If you like the suds,
Yeah.
that may not work for you. But other than that,
Yeah.
I like, I'm trying, when you color your hair, you try not to wash it too much
Right.
because any colorist will tell you this just washes out your hair color.
Exactly.
So I try to sometimes wash once a week and then use that once a week.
Yeah. No, we are now positioned, we've sort of pivoted our position in the market where we are now all about fresh color between salon visits. So every one of our products is there for a purpose. And the purpose is when you walk out of that salon and your hair is looking awesome and you're 2 weeks later, you're like, this just isn't looking so good anymore. We have the products for you to keep that color looking awesome. So whether it's one of our glosses that just adds some shine and a little bit of color to your hair, a semi-permanent color in it, or whether it's our line of apple cider vinegar products that protect your color and, as you said, keep you from over shampooing all the time, or a retouch-up kit. Everything is about how to keep your color fresh.
Okay, so what I really want you to come up with is a color that lasts even longer. I mean, I never go, like, I've never, and maybe because I'm not that well versed in hair color, but I'm kind of a minimalist these days when it comes to beauty.
Yeah.
There was a day when I wasn't, but I'm sort of over that. But I wish there was a product that, touted itself as we last 3 times longer, the super staying power. You never read about color. You read about, you have the line that helps it stay in and whatnot. But I wish there was something that absolutely definitively stayed on your hair cuticle longer. What's the challenge there?
One of the issues is that your hair grows.
But
so
even
you are always going to have that root line?
100%. But I even find that it washes out. I can see it washing out lower.
Linda, you gotta try our color.
Oh, am I not trying the latest thing,
it
Donna?
just might be the color you're using.
Well, you moved out of Studio City. Kathy was my gal.
Yeah.
Everything's changed for me since then. My hair's never been the same. Donna, talk to me about what launching dpHue has done for you personally. What has it done for you? And are you surprised at what you've been able to accomplish?
It's complicated because it's been really great in so many ways. And the most important thing is, I've had a chance to sort of be creative, to come up with things that have never been in the marketplace, like the line of ACV products. And we just came out with a new scalp scrub, an apple cider vinegar, pink Himalayan sea salt scrub for your scalp. That's fantastic.
Yeah, stop putting it in your salad, ladies.
Yeah, put it on your scalp. And, it's like a facial for your scalp.
Yeah.
That, and then you put our rinse through your ends and your hair is just going to be fabulous. That kind of thing for me is so much fun, and it's super satisfying. It's super satisfying to, read reviews and have people say that, they love it. And so for me, sort of creativity and the people I've met, I would never meet in my life all of the people I've met through this. That has been the best.
I think it's tough for a lot of women when you are out of the workplace and you're raising children, and then you're in a dinner party or in a social situation and everyone's got a job and is talking about different things. And I don't know, I find that, and I've been on that end too. I've been where you go to the dinner party and they're reaching over you to talk to your husband who's seen as more important or more interesting or more powerful. Do you find, you don't find that happens to you, I would imagine. Did you ever find that happening to you? And is it empowering to know that, and look, your success in founding a company isn't for everyone, but that you have something to add and you are relevant and you are at the core of a conversation. Is that gratifying for you at all? Or did that never kind of bother you when you were a stay-at-home mom?
Yeah, I would say.
With your husband being a very successful entrepreneur, Did you ever feel that you wanted to have something of your own and be able to contribute, or have you always been one of those amazing people that just feels comfortable in her own skin and confident no matter if she's driving the kids to and from school or founding a hair color company?
No, I mean, I've definitely, have those insecurities, have had those insecurities of, um, you know, I don't have a big job and I don't, I haven't accomplished much. And, these other people that I know like are incredible. And no, that makes you feel a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I didn't really let that define me at all. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think I still have a certain level of confidence. It's this combination of like sort of security and insecurity. I'm neither one. I'm a little bit of both.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
I mean, I talk to the women who are the most confident, successful to me in my
Yeah.
perception. And then sometimes I get in there and you know me with my questioning. And I want to kind of find out what makes someone tick. And you will find that we're all so much
Yeah.
more alike than we are different. We
We
all
are.
grapple with these issues.
That
Um,
is that is so true.
yeah, no
Yeah.
matter what it seems like from the
Yeah.
outside. I always feel not empowered, but enlightened by finding out that we're all more alike than we are different, because the playing field seems so not level in so many respects, right? How about social media for you? You're coming in as someone, not in the center of that. You had to learn that and sort of discover the importance of that in promoting your business. Share with us a bit about that.
That has really been a learning curve for me. I'm 60 and it's not natural to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I don't really post on Instagram or Facebook.
Or you didn't before.
Personally, I don't.
Oh, you still don't?
I still
Okay.
don't. I have like 3 things on my Instagram. Um, and
But you learned how to use it. You
I
learned how
definitely
important
now
it is.
I like sadly I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed because I am looking at that thing so many times a day now. And it's really about the business. But
It's so
it's a whole new world and it's crazy and our whole marketing and a lot of our conversations and how we talk about building this company, that's what it's about. It's about social media.
Mm-hmm. In the olden days, you'd hire a publicist.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I know you had one at the beginning. Do you have one
Yeah.
anymore?
We just hired somebody new out here.
But it's not as important
it's
as
different.
the
Yeah.
social media director that you
no.
hired, I bet.
Yeah, no, our marketing, our chief of marketing is this brilliant guy who I'll tell you a little bit about him. He came from Estee Lauder, and he was working all their digital, e-commerce and digital, and he has so many ideas. And if you're working in a company like Estee Lauder or L'Oreal, for you to get your ideas approved, even heard, it can take a year. So it can be that corporate culture can be super frustrating, and to the point where he, just said he had had enough. And I met him through, it was just like I've met everybody in our business. Somebody said you should meet this person, and then that person says you should meet that person, and that's really how it's worked. And so I met Mark, and he was just brilliant and intense, and knows this business, knows social media, like in an incredible way. He's been a huge asset.
I can't tell you the number of women who've come in here that we've interviewed and have said that most of the success of their businesses are due to really mastering the art of social media. I know it was a challenge for me even in SheSez. I mean, I wasn't a big Facebook, Instagrammer either. It interested me at first, and then socially it just seemed like a sort of odd game of my life is fabulous, and and like PR and amongst the masses, and that lost its relevance for me in recent years. And I don't know that it was ever relevant for me. And then literally had people come in and say, look, this is the difference between, get on there. I'm still not the person that can flash a lot of pictures of myself doing dances. And, what is the thing where you go back and forth and I don't know, there's some functionality on Instagram where you dance or you shake a drink and it does it backwards. And I still can't make myself do that. But I do think that it's how it is now. And you either jump on the bandwagon with that or you get off. We talked earlier about it being critical, you reaching out to the people in Minneapolis from Aveda and some other hair care companies and tapping them. And I think another sort of strategic partnership that you did was when you partnered with a well-known hairdresser, hairstylist here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, Justin
Share about
Anderson.
that and how did that come along and how has that buoyed your business?
Well, it was another one of those, like, I'll know it when I see it. I live in Minneapolis, so that's in and of itself is a little limiting. It's great, but it's a little limiting. And I was looking for somebody, I'm not a hairdresser and I have this hair brand. And so I was really looking for somebody who would be that voice of authority, who really had a great following and would fit in well with me and with our brand and who understood the need for women to sometimes take things into their own hands. And because not all hairdressers, buy into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Justin through my stepson who lives here. And he said, you got to meet my friend. And so, we met and my story is I asked him to go to dinner. I went and got my hair colored by him. I didn't say a word. I just kind of wanted to get to know him a little bit.
Yeah.
I asked him to go to dinner and we went to dinner and we're talking. And I said, do you know why I asked you to dinner? And he was like, no. And I'm thinking, that's really funny because, if I were you, I would have Googled me.
Yeah, right.
And you would have seen I have a hair color company. But, he was very, anyway, sweet and darling. And he and I hit it off. And he was just the person I was looking for.
Mm-hmm. Now, was he with Chris McMillan salon at the
He was
time?
with
And we
Chris
should point out
McMillan.
that that's a very SheSez salon here in Los Angeles. Chris McMillan, the stylist himself, has worked on Jennifer Aniston, I think, for years. And I think Justin has
Justin
as well.
colors Jennifer's hair too. And a lot of people, So a lot of...
So there was some synergy there. You knew that you could, pardon the expression, but ride on his coattails a little bit, right? Isn't that what it's about?
Well, it was about he could add value.
Mm-hmm. Add value. That's
he would
a better
add
way of
value
putting it.
to dpHue, and we would be able to. He would have an opportunity to get involved with something, sort of a startup. It was really a startup situation.
Mm-hmm.
That was really exciting.
So, Donna, what's next for you?
What is next?
Either personally or professionally.
Well,
and what are you looking down the road at?
At this point in time, our dpHue team is at a point where we're starting to feel like really good about the direction that we're going and the opportunities that we have in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very excited. So I am excited to, work every day, and I'm excited to, move this forward and, introduce more and more and more people to our products. I mean, it's the point now where I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm.
And
not stressing about it so much.
Not stressing so much because I also have another guy, Marty, who is our president, who has taken some of the pressure off me. And, so now we've really built a great team. So I'm very excited about that. I have grandchildren.
Yeah, how many do you have? You said 3? Two from your daughter and
3,
1 from...
3 from my kids.
Okay, 3
and
from
my
your
son
kids.
also. So, my stepdaughter also. So my husband and I have 4 between us.
That's fun.
So it's very fun. It's like this very exciting, great time in life. So I have a lot of good stuff right now. I'm stressed. My life is super full.
Yeah. You're a pretty good time manager?
No. Not necessarily, to be honest.
You
I
can't
try
be
to
good,
be.
Donna,
I don't
you
know.
can't be good at everything.
Got a lot going on. I
girlfriend.
got a lot going on.
So, Donna, we end every episode of SheSez with takeaways for women, things for them to think about after the show is over. Let's come up with some takeaways together from our discussion here. One of the things I get from you that I think women could learn from who are thinking about pivoting in midlife is, or starting up something new or making a big change, is you really you show an incredible ability to seek out people who you can learn from, whether it's hair colorists in Italy or people in your hometown in Nevada. You're a seeker of knowledge, and it seems like you don't shy away from asking a lot of questions. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I would say that, something I've learned is, that I've sort of identified what I'm good at. And if you do what you're good at, you're a lot happier than trying to do things that you're just not good at. And to bring people into your world who are good at, their own thing that can help elevate.
What else can people learn from your story?
I think having like quiet time, having time to like really think, having the freedom to really think is hard because we're so busy all the time. I sometimes don't sleep, and like I didn't sleep last night.
What were you thinking
I was probably
about?
thinking about this.
No, you weren't. What were you thinking about last night?
No, but I couldn't sleep. And, at 2 a.m, I just, turned on some music. I tried to relax, and I came up with like this amazing idea.
Wow.
And that's where I
For a new product? Do you want to break the news here today?
No,
SheSez?
it's not. I wish it was
Just
for a new
teasing.
product, but, it was something else related.
Yeah,
but
just something you were thinking about.
something that was just like, oh my God, it's right in front of my face. Like this is right in front of my face. And I think having that quiet time is really important.
And allowing yourself to reflect.
Yeah, just let your mind just go blank, whether you meditate or,
Donna Pohlad, I've enjoyed every minute of chatting with you. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you, Linda. It's so great to see you.
So great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you like what you hear, do us a big favor and give us a 5-star review on iTunes at the iTunes store. It will simply, without getting into all the nitty gritty, it'll help us make more episodes. It's kind of tricky, so I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. You go to iTunes, make sure you're in the store, not in your library, not in music. In the search bar on the upper right-hand corner, you put, Donna, go ahead and do that right now.
I'm going to.
You put SheSez with Linda Grasso, not just SheSez, SheSez with Linda Grasso. And then when the SheSez page pops up, go to the bottom after all the episodes where you see the big picture of me, tap on the big picture, and it'll take you to ratings and reviews. Write the review, and Donna's doing it. Thank you, Donna. And most importantly, give us 5 stars. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.